what you learn here is tantamount to sitting in one semester lecture class. I'd like to welcome Professor Holger Brüggemann, who is the head of an institute of production technology at the Ostfalia University for Applied Sciences, because he is the one now to talk about EMO. He also studied mechanical engineering as myself. He did it in Hanover, I did it in Aachen. Has a PhD in quality assurance. He was a manager at Bosch for petrol and diesel injection systems. So you got away with that, or got away from that, because this is going has been put on the back burner for many industries. And now you can talk about digitization and resource efficiency, which is more of a promising topic. Whatever we want to do going forward can hardly be handled without the digital transformation. So please, you have the floor.
Thank you. Electric motors and fuel cells, he does those too, that should say it, but you're right, I can deal with other subjects too. I'm not far from here. We have a learning factory for resource efficiency. We've had it since 2011. It's a non-profit organization to support companies to achieve resource efficiency, energy and resource efficiency. That's the idea. A lot of things can be tried out there. We offer different training courses for the entire area of Germany. We work together with the VDI Center for Resource Efficiency in Berlin. We have companies coming from all over Germany, Ina Schäffler, and all of their energy managers from the world over come to see us. We do training in different areas for them. Sometimes go to companies. We do energy quick checks and workshops, sometimes with mobile measurement beds that we can use in the companies. Now, there are a lot of approaches to achieving or improving resource efficiency. I have a couple of them here. It's VDI 4800. If you're interested, you can look at that. There are different approaches you could take. There's digitization and resource efficiency too. For instance, there's a new VDI guideline committee, 4804. It's called Digitization and Resource Efficiency, and it looks at this subject. And then something that's known to the public, the VDI ZRE study on resource efficiency and Industry 4.0. So there are many possibilities to give information on the subject. Now, I will take the approach Dr. Hein did and have a look at the life cycle too. There are many possibilities here, both to digitize and in all phases of the life cycle, of course, to make your processes more resource efficient. Now here, I'd just like to give you a couple of examples. And I'll begin here, product development. Most companies nowadays use CAD software or finite element programs, and there are many possibilities here to achieve resource efficiency in your materials. Select the right materials. You can do analysis based on resource efficiency. You can do finite element software programs to develop lightweight structures, lightweight design. Most of them have things like bionics. So you have a picture of that, soft kill optimization, SKO. There you remove material to achieve lightweight design, and as you can see, you can come up with very complex structures nowadays, and as a rule, they require much less material than other designs. Now, you could produce this nowadays. It wasn't possible in the past. Today, you can do it with additive manufacturing. There are many possibilities as a result of that. You see more and more nowadays, and of course, you have a very high material efficiency when you design products like this. And then let's go on to production planning. Of course, in production planning, there are many possibilities too. It begins with factory planning. Dr. Hein already talked about that. And of course, you've got the digital factory, digital twin, simulation tools, all of these different approaches to optimize your processes. Material flow optimization, CNC optimization, robot travel optimization. In the past, people just focused on saving energy, but I would say that any type of process optimization, improving your value added, of course, as a rule, will reduce your energy consumption. So there are many approaches. Then we'll have a look at production. And Dr. Heinen already said that you have to achieve transparency. What does digitization do? Well, digitization makes it possible for you to use sensors to record data and analyze it. And if you have calipers for measurements or picking up current, they cost like €100 nowadays. It's not much, and it's easy to put a sensor like that, and it makes more sense to use a mobile measurement system, go over and pick up the data, because then you'd have to have a person to go and do that. It's better to just have a tong like that you put in there, and then you have different bus system you can use for transfer. You can put it into the database and analyze it there. And with regard to analysis, well, there are many possibilities for that. Database, energy management systems, and for small companies, you can do it with Excel files. That's possible too. So I think that's the first point that I'd like to begin with. If you digitize, well, you have to have transparency. Where is your main energy consumption, energy outflow? What's your power consumption at night? Where do you have unnecessary consumption? And this can be done with Excel tools. You can do it with high tech too. You can do it with cloud service, with AI. There's all sorts of possibilities nowadays for analyzing this data. But the first thing is you've got to visualize the data and look where your main approaches could be. That's the core point, I think. Mobile devices, more and more nowadays, they make it possible to be used to access data on site at low cost or enter it, and you can visualize that too. It could be a tablet or a smartphone, and then on site you can visualize the data, and there are different suppliers for this. This is MARTA. Its solution is app-oriented so that you can document leaks in your pneumatic air system. You can put in data there. There are many other examples, I think. In any case, you have a lot of app-based examples. Now we'll jump to AI. AI you have in all areas. AI, that's the buzzword. It's like digitization. If you ask, can you use AI to save resources? Well, it's like, can you use digitization to save resources? Of course. This can be used in all areas, and there you have a couple of areas where you could use AI for energy management. If you've got lots of data, you can analyze the data and look to see where there are anomalies, where there might be irregularities, and then make use of it. And with AI, you can make forecasts. How will the weather develop? What will my PV yield be in the future? You can do load management and check your future energy requirements compared to your future energy offering or supply, and thus do load management. And you can use AI in all of these areas. The first energy management software systems developed and integrated algorithms like this, and you're seeing more and more of them because it's quite obvious to do this. If you have an energy management system, you've got lots of data, and if you want to analyze it, and you're not always familiar with the connections, well, machine learning algorithms are an obvious choice to find approaches here. Well, there are a number of studies, to summarize, that show there's lots of potential. Most companies don't yet take advantage of them. Basically, there is a huge level of potential you could take advantage of. Why am I saying that this isn't being used yet? Well, if you look at the statistics and energy consumption in Germany, you see this often. Well, it hasn't gone down, energy consumption. Those are the blue columns in the middle there. It's almost constant. Maybe it's down by 1% or something. The green level, that's value added, gross value added in Germany, and the lower blue line, that's energy productivity. So you can say, well, we're using our energy much more productively, we create more value with the energy, but total energy consumption has not yet been reduced, even though our goal is to cut that by 50% in Germany, so we're far from having achieved that. What are the reasons for this? Well, the first reason is that quite probably in industry the price for electricity in Germany was too low in the past few years. There was no economic pressure to actually take advantage of that potential. But now, since the war in Ukraine, that's changed to a certain extent. And we notice this because there's more demand. We see, our gas prices and energy prices are going up. And as energy costs are now going down, there is less and less pressure. It's interesting now, if you look at the discussion about industry electricity prices in Germany. In the past, for industry, the electricity prices were actually too low. And then, as digitization spreads, you have more and more power consumption. That's the power demand in data centers in Germany. And it's not just for data centers, it's everywhere we have digitization. So of course, as a result of digitization, power consumption is going up. And then you've got rebound effects. Now, since you optimize processes with digitization or with AI, the processes become more efficient. If the processes are more efficient, then as a rule, the products are lower cost. If the products cost less, they'll be more widespread. That's the rebound effect. LED lights at Christmas, you're all familiar with this. In the past, you had 2 or 3. Nowadays, with LED, you can put them all over your house and light up the whole yard. And you have the same effect with digitization in industry, too. Okay, now let's look at AI once again. AI will strengthen all of this because AI applications, deep learning, machine learning, they're all power intensive. Here you have a couple of examples on the chart about how power consumption goes up with the use of AI. So AI alone is not the approach. The approach is in the processes. We heard that previously too. Now, we hear this process optimization prior to digitization. First simplify and then digitize. So before you digitize things, you have to look at your processes and see, okay, what can I leave out or simplify? And then you can begin with digitization, not ahead of time, not before that. Brief summary now. Digitization does not necessarily mean there will be an improvement in resource efficiency, but it offers many possibilities, many approaches. And even if you cannot directly improve energy efficiency, digitization as a rule means that production processes and other processes can be improved for all companies. Therefore, this means that you have to be more active and deliberate in dealing with digitization. There's no 2 ways about it. You've got to do it actively. And the organization I represent is someone you can contact about this. Thank you.